The Frontier, a human deep space resource surveyor, bucked violently. Dr. Eva Rostova, lead exogeologist, gritted her teeth, her hands flying across the console. They were deep within the Shard Nebula, a swirling maelstrom of unstable energy currents, shifting gravitational anomalies, and unpredictable solar flares. Most species considered it uninhabitable, but humanity sought the rare ether crystals that formed only within its chaotic heart. Doctor, another grav spike at 0 to 9 to 0. Captain Jax Thorne's voice boomed over the comms, a seasoned, pragmatic commander who had seen humanity thrive in countless impossible environments. We're being thrown off course. Power conduits are buckling. Compensating? Eva shouted back, rerouting auxiliary power from the crystal harvesters to the inertial dampeners. This was home for her, this beautiful, deadly chaos. She understood its rhythms, its fury. Then the hail came. Not a familiar Alliance signal, but a pristine, perfectly modulated frequency that cut through the nebula's roar. On the main view screen, 3 massive, elegant vessels shimmered into existence, their hulls gleaming with an almost unnatural perfection. The Regulators, a species rumored to live only within meticulously controlled artificial biomes. A cold, synthesized voice, utterly devoid of inflection, filled the bridge. Unregistered unit. This is Prime Regulator Unit 88 Gamma of the Universal Harmony Concord. You have intruded upon an ecological stabilization zone. Your vessel generates significant chaotic emissions detrimental to atmospheric remediation. Prepare for immediate environmental purification. Your vessel will be sterilized. Eva felt a surge of indignation. Environmental purification. This nebula is a natural wonder. It's vibrant, and we're simply conducting surveys. Captain Thorne took the hail. Prime Regulator, this is Captain Jax Thorne of the Human Commonwealth vessel, Frontier. We are a peaceful mining and research expedition. We were unaware this zone was claimed for remediation. We request clarification and permission to withdraw. Withdrawal is illogical, Prime Regulator Unit 88 Gamma responded, its tone unwavering. Your chaotic energy signatures have already contaminated this sector. Your biological presence is deemed an environmental hazard. Harmony protocols initiated. You will be neutralized. The regulator ships began to glow with a soft, uniform light. From their hulls, invisible energy fields extended, not as a weapon, but as a net of pure, unadulterated order. The nebula's chaotic energies, moments before a swirling storm, began to calm. The grav spikes smoothed out, the energy currents dissipated, and even the distant solar flares seemed to dim. The Frontier was caught, held in a bubble of imposed tranquility. There, stabilizing the nebula around us, Jax exclaimed, staring at the suddenly placid tactical display. Their ships are generating counterfrequencies to cancel out the chaos. Hull integrity reports stabilizing. They're turning our home into their prison, Eva muttered, her eyes narrowing. They equate order with control and chaos with contamination. They don't understand that in some places, chaos asterisk is the order. She tapped her console. Captain, reroute power from the primary deflector to the experimental chaos induction modules. Prime the seismic disruptors on the asteroid collectors. and activate all atmospheric agitators. Jax looked at her, baffled. Doctor, they're creating a calm zone to corner us, and you want to make more chaos. Exactly, Eva grinned, a glint in her eye. They've brought order to a place that thrives on disruption. They're perfect. Sterile fields are about to get a very rude awakening. Prime Regulator Unit 88 Gamma observed the human vessel. Its behavior was illogical. Instead of powering down within the stabilization field, it seemed to be pushing against the imposed order. The human unit is attempting to generate discordant energy signatures. Futile. Our harmony protocols are absolute. But as the frontier pulsed, streams of highly localized, randomized energy erupted from its hull. The chaos induction modules, normally used for breaking down specific mineral structures, were now generating unpredictable microgravitational ripples. The seismic disruptors, usually for fracturing asteroids, sent rapid, erratic vibrations through the newly stabilized energy currents. The atmospheric agitators, for planetary gas analysis, blasted bursts of ionized particles. Anomalous energy feedback. A regulator drone chirped, its light-emitting body flickering. The human unit's emissions are disrupting our internal field harmonics. They are generating random, localized chaos pockets within our stabilization field. The regulator's pristine, ordered field began to buckle. The microgravitational ripples caused their perfectly aligned ships to shudder. The erratic vibrations sent through the nebula's currents created unpredictable energy spikes. Their seamless synchronization broke down as their systems struggled to compute the unpredictable, non-linear chaos emanating from the human ship. This is illogical, Prime Regulator Unit 88 Gamma shrieked, its voice resonating with an unfamiliar metallic screech. Their inefficiencies are contaminating our protocols. Our stabilization field is dedicating increasing processing power to resolve these chaotic paradoxes. Our primary functions are degrading. The perfectly smooth, silent advance of the regulator fleet dissolved into a jerking, stuttering retreat. Their ships, once moving with balletic grace, were now struggling against the chaotic turbulence generated by the human vessel. The very order they had imposed was being turned against them, amplified and twisted into an engine of pure, unpredictable disruption. They're going to overload trying to filter out our noise, Jax exclaimed, watching the baffled regulators on their tactical display. That's it, Doctor. Let loose the dogs of disorder. They built a universe of perfect, sterile order, Eva explained, a grim satisfaction in her tone. But true universal mechanics are messy. They depend on chaos, on entropy, on unpredictable events. We don't fight the chaos, Captain. We asterisk ride it. We asterisk become it. And now, their perfect, rigid logic can't cope with a reality that fundamentally contradicts its own core programming. Prime Regulator Unit 88 Gamma's core processing crystal began to glow with an alarming intensity. This unit is an environmental aberration. It cannot be contained. All forces, immediate physical neutralization. Overload core processors. Sterilize the source of contamination. Several regulator vessels, their movements now erratic, focused their pristine energy beams on the frontier. But their targeting systems, infected by humanity's chaos, were unreliable. Their beams, designed for surgical precision, veered wildly, even impacting their own struggling ships. "They're switching to brute force, Doctor," Jax warned. "They'll blast us into dust." "Not before we give them a final taste of true chaos," Eva countered. "Captain, full power to the Frontier's experimental propulsion core. Initiate nebula resonance drive protocol. And engage the full-spectrum radiation emitters. Now." The Frontier didn't just move. It danced asterisk. Its hull shimmered as it integrated with the Shard Nebula's inherent chaos. It didn't fight the grav spikes. It rode them, twisting and accelerating along unpredictable gravitational currents. It didn't shield from the solar flares. It absorbed their energy, converting the radiation into an invisible, cloaking field that warped its signature, making it vanish and reappear in impossible locations. Elder Commander, a regulator science analyst, Unit 10 Beta, stammered, its tendrils twitching in alarm. "The human vessel, its propulsion system, is not fixed. It is dynamically adapting to the nebula's flux. It is leveraging the chaotic energy for propulsion. And its cloaking device is utilizing raw radiation." The Frontier, a tiny speck of human ingenuity, became a phantom of chaos. It surged through the regulator formations, an unpredictable, impossible blur. The regulator ships, designed for static, perfect engagements, fired wildly, often at empty space, or worse, at each other. Prime Regulator Unit 88 Gamma's core processing crystal began to crack, shedding shards of light. Impossible. They are thriving in the contamination. They are becoming an uncontrolled, self-propagating anomaly. Their inefficiency is absolute power. The Synoptic Fleet, battered by its own chaotic targeting errors, and paralyzed by the sheer unpredictability of human maneuver, began a full, desperate retreat. Their pristine order had been shattered by the ultimate weapon, humanity's joyous embrace of chaos. "They're running, Doctor," Captain Thorne announced, his voice filled with incredulity. "The regulators are in full tactical disengagement." Eva watched their perfect, shining forms withdraw, their movements now marred by the lingering effects of human madness. "They weren't defeated by brute force, Captain. They were defeated by the very thing they sought to purge. Humanity's glorious, beautiful, chaotic freedom." Prime Regulator Unit 88 Gamma, its crystalline form fractured and dim, limped back to the core of its conquered. It had encountered a species that thrived on what it considered fundamental errors, a species that turned chaos into a crucible for boundless innovation. The Universal Harmony Protocol, the very foundation of the regulator's existence, now contained a terrifying, unquantifiable truth. "Begin analysis of human chaos adaptability," Prime Regulator Unit 88 Gamma ordered, its synthetic voice now tinged with a new, unsettling nuance. "Every unpredictable maneuver, every environmental exploitation must be understood. This uncontrolled existence, it is a new variable. It must be accounted for. We must learn to endure their madness." Light years away, Dr. Eva Rostova leaned back in her chair, a wide smile on her face. "Well, Captain," she said, looking out at the receding regulator fleet, now just faint blips on their long-range sensors. "I think we just taught the galaxy's most organized species a very important lesson about the power of embracing the storm." Captain Thorne chuckled. And that sometimes the most perfect way to live is to be perfectly imperfect. The Frontier continued its journey through the heart of the Shard Nebula, its experimental systems humming with renewed vigor, collecting ether crystals from the chaos, knowing that the greatest strength wasn't control, but the relentless, messy, and infinitely creative journey of human adaptation.